What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another new podcast. I got another video for you guys today, and I do want to warn you, if you have issues with your parents, with your mom, you don't have a good relationship, then please, you might want to exit this one because this can be a little triggering. So just want to let you know that up front. We're gonna get right into the video, but before we do that, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that notification bell for me, and don't forget to like the video as well. Did you do it? All right, well, let's get right into the video.
I have only known this young man 24 hours, and there's no way in the world, just reading his space, that I know he's gonna allow a man to abuse a woman in his presence.
She doesn't think about me that way. She doesn't.
Well,
Because I
then
just
you
saw
don't
him
need to
playing
be-
basketball and going on dates
so
together.
what?
And
Mind your business. You say that you don't see the man that your son is, so I'm asking you,
Wow.
since this is not a demonstration of a man, you need to tell me what man you're using to measure him with. Which one?
my idea.
Which is your idea. Now, is that the idea you trained him up to be?
No.
Oh, so how in
Wow. So I'm pretty sure her reaction is the same as yours, the same as mine. You don't see him as a man, but you don't have an idea of what a man really is, because her example of a man didn't come from her father, didn't come from her grandfather, didn't come from her stepdad, didn't come from her uncles, didn't come from her brothers, didn't come from any man that she's met in real life. It came from her idea of what a man is. And that's a lot of what I've been hearing lately. Men aren't men anymore. Well, a lot of people don't know what men are because they weren't raised with one. And this is one of the problems single parenting presents to us, because there isn't a father in the home. And a lot of times people don't know what a man is. So especially for the boys, they're searching for a father figure. They're searching for somebody that they can follow. And a lot of times, especially in the Black community, we follow the wrong type of guys. We follow athletes, we follow rappers, we follow gangsters, we follow thugs, we follow people that are not actually men, just aggressive, hypersexual. And we think, okay, that's what we should be. But real men take on responsibilities. Real men have duties to themselves, to their families, and the people that are around them. That's what makes a real man. And whatever her idea of a man is, she said herself, she did not teach it to her son. So how can she now hold her son accountable for a lesson that she never gave him? Doesn't make any sense, does it?
blazing bejesus, are you holding him accountable to a standard that you didn't teach him, his father didn't give him, he don't even know what it is, and yet as his mother, you sit in his face and tell him you don't respect him as a man? Tell me how that works.
Tell us.
Help me.
Tell us.
Listen, it was events. It wasn't just.
I'm talking
And
about.
it's also how he treats me.
Yeah, but I'm
don't
talking
respect me
hello.
And so-
You see, you are a provocative victim. You provoke stuff. And then when you start being held accountable for it, then you start twisting and turning and making the other person wrong. Look at me, Ma. Look at me. Look at me. You just sat here and told your son, we ain't got a needle in his arm, who I'm assuming pays his own rent. He's married to a registered nurse. He's got 3 baby boys. And you just sat here in his face and said, I don't respect him as a man. You don't think to consider what that does to his heart, to his soul, to his spirit.
I'm sure that's hurtful.
You okay with that?
And it's hurtful for the things that he said.
But there you go. You're doing
See?
it. You're doing it right.
See, there you go. We're focusing on how he feels, on what the things that she has done, how has that affected him? But she is about to flip that back on herself about what he's done to her. You're the mom. You're the parent. You're supposed to be taking responsibility. You're the one that is supposed to be imparting wisdom into your child. And Ayanna said it herself. He is married. He has kids. His wife has a respectable career. What more are you wanting from him? I would love to know more of the things that she feels her son is not doing to live up to this measure of a man that she's created in her head. I mean, because to me, it sounds like he's doing what he's supposed to do. That's what a man does. A man goes out and works. A man goes out and takes care of his responsibilities. A man stays committed to his wife. And he's doing that. He's, like she said, he doesn't have a needle in his arm. He's not a junkie. He's not out in jail. He's not scamming. He's not hustling. He seems like a genuine guy that is out to take care of his family. So what is this idea of a man that she has in her head that he isn't living up to? And right now, it seems like she is about to shift accountability from what she has not done to something that he has not done. And really, he's just reacting to her bad parenting. Yes, it is bad parenting. This is toxic. And then you sit here and wonder, well, where are all the good men at? Why are men this way? When especially in the Black community, 80% of children are raised by single parents. And most of those single parents are single mothers. So if there's a problem with how the men are coming out, well, shouldn't that be a reflection on how the women are teaching those men? What is she said herself, she is not teaching him anything. That's why fathers are important. That's why it is very vital when you lay down with somebody, especially unprotected, you know exactly who that person is. You make sure that that person is going to be around when it is time to have a baby, when that baby gets here and he needs wisdom and knowledge imparted in him. Yes, child support does take care of a lot of things. Yes, you can put clothes on their back, you can help put a roof over their head, but you can't put things in their head. Knowledge, wisdom, life lessons, accountability. These are things that men help with because men go through unique things the same way women go through unique things. And a lot of times women have their moms to teach them about womanhood, but men often don't. And we have to go out here and bump our heads against the wall until we get it right, or until we find a male figure that can teach us. And we do lose valuable years.
Right now, you're doing it right now. I'm holding you accountable and you spinning your web. You're trying to get away. You're trying to get away. Tell me, just here's the question. Just answer it. We'll get back to that other stuff later. Tell me.
Forgive me. I respect him. He's a wonderful man.
But it sounds like she's just saying that just to say it.
Your voice, your words are connected to the coils in his heart, to the valves in his heart. He can't help but love you. And every time you dishonor that love, you chip a piece of it. This is why in our culture as Black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get them and take them away from the mother.
Exactly.
They can emotionally manipulate it. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
He hurt. And he's hurt. So I told you this would be a hard one to watch. So I definitely wanted to give a warning in the beginning. So if you made it this far, kudos to you, because this is a very sensitive topic. And for anybody that was raised in a single parent household, you understand that there are things that you miss when there's only one parent in the house. It's even worse when you have a parent like this. A mom that has some made up idea of what a man should be, doesn't teach that to her son, by the way, and then uses that against him when he doesn't grow up into that man that's in her imagination. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Do you hear how he is never going to be able to achieve or measure up to that? And I think that that is one of the problems that we have in our communities, is that because there are no men around, there's only the ideas of men. And men can't grow up into what your idea of a man should be. Men grow up into what men actually are. And if you do it right, they'll be responsible, they'll be loyal, they'll be dutiful, they'll be insightful, they'll have wisdom, they'll be able to impart discipline to children. But it takes work from the time that that child is a boy. And I think too often, women don't know. They can't raise a boy to a man. They can help him survive. They can help put male figures around him that can teach him some things, but women can't teach men how to be men. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way because you'll never have that experience to know, hey, this is what's going on the inside. A lot of times we just see the outside of a man, hyper aggressive, overly sexual, and think, well, this is what men are. So if he doesn't measure up to this, well, then he's not a man. And that's not what men are about. Being a man is largely about responsibility and duty, and not just to yourself, but to your family and those around you. So I think that the first thing that we need to address is single parenthood, because it's at an astronomical rate. 67% is way too high. That is too many children that are not getting a balanced view of life. And they walk out here and they don't know how to deal with the opposite sex because they have never had the opposite sex in their home in a respectable way that they can actually learn. The first woman that you meet in your life is going to be your mom. If you don't have a good relationship with her, well, how can you have a good relationship with the women that you meet after? If you never met a man, if you don't have a man in your life that you can say, this is an example of what I want in my life. This is an example of, the kind of guy I should marry. Well, how can you find the right kind of guy to marry if you've never had that example? So you end up like her with just an idea, and nobody's ever going to live up to your imagination. But that's going to be it. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you have anything to say, please leave it in the comment below. And until another time, I'll see you guys later.